Hi everybody and welcome to Pinky Tech. I'm Joe, you're you, and today I'm going to show you how to get into PC gaming for about $200. So stick around, you're going to want to see this. Alright, so before we go any further, this is not some AliExpress ultra low budget 720p gaming machine. No, we're targeting 1080p medium settings, a nice smooth 60 FPS experience. That being said, we're going to have to make some concessions here, namely aesthetics. So while I do have a computer that will play games 60 FPS, 1080p medium settings, it is inside a Dell Optiplex. Wait, don't go yet. So this is not another Optiplex video that's all over YouTube right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get into PC gaming for about $200, but also over the next few weeks, I'm going to show you how I would upgrade this PC to get better performance if you decide PC gaming is for you and you want to keep improving your experience. So make sure you click the subscribe button down below, hit the little notification bell to make sure that you're getting notified of all the content that's going to be coming out over the next few weeks. Alright, so for today's build I picked out this Optiplex 7010 MT that I picked up from Upcycle Computer Works. Now this is not a sponsored build from Upcycle Computer Works or anything like that, but I was able to pick up this computer for just $119 and that included shipping. I picked up this computer for a few reasons. First, it has an Intel 3rd Gen i5 processor inside of it already. It has a 500GB hard drive and also 8GB of RAM. So it's a great starting platform to get started in PC gaming. Secondly, it uses standard power connectors. So if we did decide to change out the power supply, we won't have to get adapters for the motherboard power, the 24-pin, or the 4-pin or 8-pin EPS. Third, this is a mid-tower case, so it's not small form factor. This gives us a lot of options for graphics cards that we want to put inside the case. If you do go with the small form factor or ultra small form factor case, the number of graphics cards you can put inside the case then become very limited and the cost of those go up tremendously. And lastly, this platform is readily available. Either Upcycle Computer Works, local deals, eBay, etc. They all have these Dell 7010s, 7020s, etc. that you can pick up and pick up relatively cheap. Alright, so if you can't find a Dell Optiplex 7010 in your area or you can't find one online for whatever reason, try to find an office computer that has about the same characteristics. So an i5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM in it, 500 gig hard drive, and uses standard power connectors. If you are able to get something with those things, upgrade should be a breeze for it. Alright, now that we have the computer out of the way, let's talk about the graphics card. So if you've gone with the mid-tower case like we have here, then you've got a lot of options. But since we're trying to keep this ultra budget and not have to replace a lot of components, the two cards you really should be looking for are a GTX 1050 Ti or a GTX 1650. Either of those cards are able to plug directly in, no additional power is needed. If you find another card that you can use, that would be great as well, but I would stay away from like the 1030s and cards like that as they don't deliver the same performance that the 1050 Ti does or the 1650 does. Now, the 1050 Ti can be found for about $60 to $80 used, and the 1650 is usually about $20 more than that. So today, we went with the 1650. So, like I said, this is GTX 1650. It's not the SC version or the Ti version or anything like that. That means no additional power is needed. All the power is going to be supplied directly through the PCIe Express slot. Now, I was able to pick this up on LetGo, a local market site, for $90. They sell regularly on eBay somewhere between 70 and 100 bucks. So, like I said, you can replicate this yourself with this card. If you do need to save money though, pick up the 1050 Ti. Those are all over eBay for somewhere between $60 and $80. Alright, that's it. Just two components. We got the graphics card, we have the computer. So let me walk you through setting this up with this beautiful build montage. Yes, sorry, it was just plugging it in. Alright, so before we get into the benchmarks, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like I said, this is going to be a series. I'm going to show you a list of upgrades that you can do and how it impacts performance as you go along. So those will start coming out next week and they'll keep going for a few weeks here. Okay, now on to the benchmarks. Here you can see in the Unigine Heaven benchmark, we're off to a good start with a smooth run. The stutter you may see is from the recording software, so pay no attention to that. In the benchmark, the computer scored an average FPS of 71 and a score of 1808. Not bad for a $209 investment into your gaming PC. Up next, we jumped into CSGO at 1080p medium settings. Outside of it being a decade since I played Counter-Strike and getting owned by an AWP off the start, the gaming experience was smooth and enjoyable as expected, as Counter-Strike is easy to run on just about any computer. I did manage to get a few kills during my testing, but largely I was carried by my team as I found my footing once again. Now on to a little more demanding title, I jumped into Fortnite. At first I allowed Fortnite to auto-adjust my settings. This was a mistake. I hid for a moment in-game and then manually set most of the settings to medium, epic view distance, and kept our frame rates to 60 FPS. Once I did that, Fortnite played smoothly and I once again managed to get a few kills. The smooth gaming experience didn't make me any better at Fortnite though, as I ended up getting owned by a gold man in a sports car. Moving on to another free-to-play title, I jumped into Apex Legends. Once again, looting and overall gameplay was very smooth. However, I'm bad and got owned and then finished by a Gibby, so yay me. But we still managed a 60 FPS 1080p gaming experience. Now I tried to play Call of Duty Warzone. Unfortunately, this computer only has 8 gigs of RAM, and the recommended memory for Call of Duty Warzone is actually 12 gigabytes of RAM. So I tried to play it anyway, and it was a stuttering, laggy mess. It was really just an unplayable experience. The good news is I had an extra 4 gigs of RAM laying around, so I was able to take that and put it into the system, and it actually played very well. So if Warzone is a game you'd like to play, I'd recommend getting 16 gigabytes of RAM in the system. That can be accomplished by ordering another 8 gigabyte kit of RAM off of eBay. These are typically somewhere in the neighborhood of $30, and you'll have a very enjoyable gaming experience with Call of Duty Warzone. Alright, so this computer isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It is $200, and as you can tell, it has some limitations. It did struggle in Call of Duty Warzone, as well as there's no SSD in the system, so boot times and game load times are atrocious. They're bad because there's no SSD. Also, as I'm sure you can tell when running the benchmarks, the processor is pegged at about 100%. Now this is because it's also running OBS to record the gameplay, so it wasn't quite as bad during just playing video games versus trying to record video games and play them at the same time. But there you have it, 1080p gaming for a little over $200. Now don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, I will be showing you upgrades coming in the next weeks, and as you might have guessed, an SSD is going to be very high on that list, as in there's going to be an SSD next week. But we'll have some other upgrades as well, including some surprises, and we'll get this thing up to beast mode in no time at all. So that's it for the video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember to hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any of my future content. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.